Hey there, ladies and gents. We're going to go over my farm budget today. Here, taking a look at the numbers, we're going to go through all the different categories of my income, my cost of goods sold, and then right down into my discretionary and non-discretionary and my staffing expenses, which is the labor, which is my salary. We're going to go through all of it right now. So here on the farmmarketingsolutions.com blog, I have a blog post where I lay out everything in all of its glorious, honest detail. You can head over there with the links that are in this video to go see all of that and read the narrative that I have to go with the budget. And please remember that these numbers it's a live document. It's something that can change over time. It's the fact that I created a farm plan. I've now applied a number to it, and I can have educated discussion with my partners, with my family, with anybody involved with the farm to see if this is what, in fact, we want to do going forward. These are the costs associated with our choices, and now we can decide whether or not it's a good path for us. So please read this blog post before you're harsh with any of your comments, and without further ado, let's dive right in. So here we are in my 2018 farm plan. Now, if I click over real quick, there's a narrative that goes with this that shows exactly who we are, what we're doing, and how we function here at Camps Road Farm. Now, if we go to fixmy.farm, we'll get the Fix My Farm series. You go down to previous posts, and the 2018 farm plan is where you can find a copy of this narrative that shows exactly what I'm doing for next year, or at least what the plan is at the moment. So with that narrative and that plan, I'm going to scale back on some of my other production areas on the farm and really focus on what it means to be a farm brewery. Now, what does that mean? I'm not going to go over that completely in this video. But what does that mean in a budget numbers sense? So income-wise, I'm doing fewer broilers than I've ever done before, 480 broilers, which grosses me $10,598. I figured that out through my own calculations on what my expenses were, and then I just put in the high-level numbers in my cleaner sheet here. And then we have a event emissions. We have a hop harvest festival where we charge tickets, and we have a pig roast, and people come and pick flowers, and there's live music, and it's a lot of fun. We do it every fall. That gets us a little bit of money. And then I put a placeholder for hops of $8,000 with 500 pounds processed. And the reason why it's $8,000 is because local hops in our area go for $16 a pound, and at 500 pounds, which is like the lowest number I think we're going to get next year, 500 times 16 is $8,000. We could get up to 1,000 pounds, but that would be generous. I like to lowball my numbers on the budget because things go wrong and things don't go according to plan, and I don't have great historical numbers on the hops because I've focused more heavily on livestock in the past. So that's where I'm at. So total income, all said and told, $21,948 is what we have planned for just the base operations here on the farm. Now, that's not accounting for me taking time to process the brewer's grain or fix things or build stuff, any of those project-based things that I have planned around farm aside from just growing hops. That is not accounted for in my income. That was harder to itemize, and we're working on that, but I've scaled the farm to a point where I know I'll have a little bit more free time, maybe not in the middle of the season as I'll be more heavily managing the hop yard, but on the shoulder seasons in the winter, I have more free time to get some other tasks done. What cost of goods sold is any money that you have to spend to produce a thing. So it's not building a greenhouse, it's not paying your farm rent or mortgage or whatever the case may be. It's not building a chicken tractor. It's buying whatever you need to produce that chicken, those hops, just to get to your end product. If you're raising vegetables, it will be your seed costs, your fertilizer costs, and then any harvesting and packaging stuff to get the product from beginning to end into the customer's hands. So for our Hop Harvest Festival, we have some overhead. Again, a little higher number there than we might end up with, but I like to budget in the pessimistic side of things just so we're prepared for the worst. I'd rather have, prepare for the worst and have a little bit of buffer. Broiler cogs is feed, baby chicks, electricity, all the things that go into raising a chicken. I've already kind of mapped out here, and I know exactly how much it's going to cost. And then hop supplies and hops other are things like sprays and amendments and just things that I'm going to need to help the hops grow. So total cost of goods sold is $9,881 against my $21,948. And then we get into the expenses. Now with the expense category, this is where kind of the meat of my costs are. Where I have general agricultural supplies are kind of the things that don't fit any one specific category of buying things for equipment or buying things for chickens specifically or pigs specifically. It's just kind of things that I need to help keep the farm running. I put a $2,000 allocation there just for my random expenses. Advertising and promotion, that can be not just purchasing ads, but buying things that I use as marketing materials at my farmer's market or the farm store. It's going to be more concentrated heavily on the farm store next year, but a $200 line item for advertising and promotion. Office expenses are things like buying new paper, buying toner for the printer. I don't have a lot of overhead in the office. I don't use a lot of materials, so $150 should cover everything. Truck and tractor expenses and equipment are kind of the same. I put $2,000 in for each because something always breaks year to year, whether it's a hydraulic hose or I threw the tracks on my excavator, I think it was last year, or break something in the tractor, something inevitably happens. So aside from the just regular maintenance of buying oil filters and fuel filters and transmission fluid and more oil and grease guns and whatever, I have some major fixed stuff in there budgeted. We may not spend it, which would be great. We may have to spend a little bit more, which would stink, but such is the case. Insurance, this is what our historical insurance number is for the vehicle. I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate. I mean, $500 a year for vehicle insurance seems kind of light, but that's what I had historically as my allocation, so that's what I put in there going forward. Heating and cooking fuel can be electricity or any kind of heat to keep buildings warm. It's mostly electricity for the entire year, my allocation for it. Permits and fees and classes and subscriptions can be like the CT NOFA or the Farm Bureau, that kind of stuff. Travel, I put in $500 for gas. That's farm truck gas or any kind of travel expenses. I don't do a lot of traveling other than just driving the truck around, but $500 a year in gas because my truck gets 10 miles to the gallon. And, it's it is what it is. So total farming discretionary, $8,747. And then non-discretionary is our tractor interest, because we're financing the tractor, so there's monthly payments and then interest on that. Rent or lease of the buildings that I use, $2,250, which, let's stop and pause there for a second, is amazing. I pay very little rent on a farm basis for what I use on the farm. The landowner is part of the operation as well, and he understands where the farm is at right now, so he has made it incredibly and ridiculously affordable for me to operate a farm here. So I have a lot of advantages, and I'm very lucky, and my rent is one of those things. That said, we have like a 52-acre wetland, and I'm trying to farm on the little dry patches on the wetland. So if you look back at the farm plan and the other things that I've laid out and check out my farm page on Farm Marketing Solutions, then you'll see that, yes, my rent is cheap, but no, it's not easy to farm on this specific piece of property. Then my total insurance, which is liability insurance, business insurance for the year, $3,600. Total farming, non-discretionary, and discretionary total expenses, $15,123. Now we get into the last category, which is staffing. And in that staffing, we have $32,295 for my salary personally, and I talk more about that in the blog post for this video. But I get a guaranteed distribution as a operating member of the company, which basically means that I do get a salary from month to month. This doesn't there's no taxes taken out of it. I have to pay my own taxes because I'm part owner. So that goes to me. And then I have a $5,000 allocation for bringing in Kate or other people for, special projects, bigger days where I can't handle things by myself and I can't get volunteers. I'm just setting money aside so that I can ensure that I get the things done that I need to get done for the year. So total farming staff expenses, $37,295. And then it brings our total expenses to $62,299, and our net income is a whopping stinky minus $40,000. So let's go up here to our budget summary, where it's a 2018 plan. Our income is about $22,000. Cost of goods sold is about $10,000. Expenses are $15,000. So before labor, before my cost, I'm minus $3,000 on the farm. So if I wasn't paying myself, I would be still minus $3,000 for the year. And then my labor and the total number, and I broke it down monthly because not all these expenses come at once. So if you were to pay off this $40,350 on a monthly basis, the total cost would be $3,363 per month that we have to figure out where that money is coming from. And then because I'm creatively offsetting my work, I put in a $6,000 allocation because I'm working with the landowner to take down some trees, plant some new trees, do some service work around the property itself that's not directly related to the farm. So I've taken that money out of my salary initially, and I have that $6,000 as an allocation just for me to help me pay my bills, but I'm doing some work over the winter to offset the expenses on the farm.
Keep in mind that farming is only part of what I do here, and not all of what I do is associated with this budget. This budget is for the farm, for my part of the operation. Our business is kind of complex, but these are the numbers that I put together for what we're doing on farm for next year. Now, this is a live conversation where this is continuing. I'm having meetings and this is kind of a proposal. I'm talking to my business partners on this and saying, all right, this is what we know we can do and what we've done in the past. This is how much it would cost us to produce this atmosphere on the farm for the farm brewery and to be part of the distillery. Is this a decision we want to make? So in 2018, this isn't 100% set in stone yet, what you saw just now. It's something that's live and developing and something I'll be blogging about here on Farm Marketing Solutions. If you want to head over to fixmy.farm, Fix My Farm, I'll have everything laid out with a schedule, what I'm talking about going forward, how I'm going to fix this. Obviously, nobody wants to operate at a negative $40,000 deficit. It's not realistic. It's not sustainable. It's an investment that we're making to move forward with how we've set everything up so far. Obviously, we want it to be better. So be nice with the troll comments on this YouTube video. Thanks for taking the time to stop and watch and see what I've done and put together so far. If you have any questions, if you have anything specific that you want to see explained better in the future, let me know. This was the first video in the kind of budget series that I've got going on. But yeah, leave it all in the comment section below. Thanks for taking the time. As I said that already. Anyways, I'll shut up. It's early. Yeah, talk to you soon.